All right, Brendan, after you guys have got in and watched a little bit of film, what would you say was one or two problems Saturday with the defense?
Uh, I say just focus. You know, there was a lot of plays where we were focused, but those few, really paid off for the other team at the end. And we just got to do better as a defense of just staying focused the entire game and doing our assignments and just knowing what we're supposed to do.
Missed tackles an issue for you guys too?
Yeah, missed tackles as well. Yeah, that kind of hurt us a little bit. Well, a lot, actually.
You know that after Auburn sees the tape, with the trouble with some of the misdirection stuff, they're going to come in and to try and do a lot of the same thing, but with more talented guys. Does that give you concern for this Saturday?
I don't say it will because our coaches do a great job at preparing us for the team at hand, and he know that we messed up here, we messed up there, and the other team saw that. They're watching the same film we watching, so we know that they might try to come back to it. So we're gonna prepare for it, and we should be ready by Saturday.
What sticks out in your mind from the Auburn game a year ago?
What sticks out in my mind? How they came back to beat us. We had them up by 17 at the half, and they just came back to beat us. And that's something that us as a defense could have control, but we didn't. So we just got to come out this year and just fight and do what we need to do.
Did the physicality strike to you as well? I mean, it seemed like afterwards guys said that was one of the more physical games they've played in on both sides of the ball.
I mean, yeah, it was a pretty physical game, but in the trenches it's always physical, so you can't really tell them apart.
I think you said this summer one of your goals was to be just more consistent, down to down. What have you done towards meeting that goal?
I feel this year, these first two games, I've been more consistent as compared to last year, but I still feel like it's more I can do. I still feel like it's more out there for me. So I'm just gonna, like I said, continue to just come to practice and work hard and do what I need to do.
What are some of the things you left out there that you could have done?
I feel like my hands in the first game wasn't where it needed to be, and my ball quickness, like my quickness off the ball, my first step wasn't how it was as compared to last year. But I came out Wofford and worked on those things, and I improved on them, and I'm gonna continue to improve on them as the season progresses.
Did you feel like it seemed like you were getting a lot of good penetration against Saturday as well? Do you feel like you were getting through the line the way you wanted to?
I felt like I was getting there, but I wasn't really making the plays that were coming to me. I missed a lot of tackles, and like we said earlier, like tackling wasn't good, and my tackling wasn't good.
Yeah.
Or Troy game, it wasn't good. So I just got to go out every day and just improve on my tackling, because I didn't really have a good game tackling wise. So.
How do you do that? How do you improve on your tackling?
Practicing. I mean, it's you practice tackling how you practice coming off the ball. So I mean, like for me, I probably before practice a little bit, after practice a little bit, go and grab one of the boys and just work on it.
Both Coach Steele and Coach Morris said after Saturday's game that practices this week could probably be a little bit more physical than they have been the past 2 weeks. Do you think you guys need that at this point?
Do I think we need it? I mean, that's the coach's decision. I feel like we do. You never can go wrong with hitting a little more. I mean, we're not banged up or anything, so I mean, it always helps as far as a Saturday game. So I don't have a problem with it.
Are you tackling well in practice, or is it just one of those things where you didn't have the best?
We don't tackle in practice. We thud, which is we wrap up and stay off the ground. So I guess it's just kind of convert your mind over when you get in the game, because the whole practice, the whole week you go through, the practice without taking a person to the ground.
So you don't have any tackling drills at all?
Yeah, we have tackling drills. We always have tackling drills every Tuesday, and the boys work on it then. But I'm just as far as just going through practice with the offense, we don't bring our players to the ground.
That Auburn game last year, did you see that as kind of like when you look back, was it kind of like a turning point for the season almost? Because if you would have won, if you look at that game, look, say we would have won, it would have gone a lot different for us. Or how do you approach it?
I mean, I see it as only God knows. We didn't win, and our season did kind of take a turn. But I mean, who's to say if we would have won it would have went the same way? I feel like all we can really do is just work on this year and do what we need to do to make sure that what happened last year doesn't happen this year.
And how important is this game? Your first game against a truly quality like SEC, BCS style opponent.
I feel like this is the game at hand, so it's always important. The game at hand is always important. So we're going to go out there and practice, just how we prepare for Troy and just how we prepare for Wofford. Just go out there and just work hard and, the ones sharpen the ones, twos sharpen the twos, and we do what we need to do to, have a good game on Saturday.
How tough was it last year? You said you're up 17-0. To watch it just gradually slip away.
It really didn't hit till the game was over.
Right.
Because you just so into the game, you're just coming off the ball, firing it off, trying to do your job, doing what you have to do. And, I mean, it really didn't hit till the game was over and we didn't win.
At that point, it's kind of like looking at the scoreboard and going, what happened?
Yeah.
Was that game kind of like a microcosm of the whole season because you guys dominated the first half? You really dominated the fourth quarter on them, but it was that one quarter when they had 200 and something yards and 21 points. Was that kind of, when I mean the whole team was just like that one quarter was what, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I feel like that just goes back on, focusing at the job at hand, playing every snap, being consistent and just doing your job every play.
Do you remember anything about the atmosphere of that game, or were you too involved in actually playing to notice?
I mean, for the most part, I was, too into the game. But, I mean, at certain points, you could tell, like, that, the crowd was into it. But it really didn't faze us, because we knew what we had to do. You know what I'm saying? We knew we was playing away, hostile environment. So, we were already prepared for that. And I think we did what we had to do.
Based on these first two games you played, do you think that, in other words, how important is this? How sweet would it be to kind of, do you feel like you need to prove yourselves a little bit?
Do we feel like we need to prove ourselves?
Yeah.
I feel like we do, but on the sense of, we still look at ourselves as a 6 or 7 team until we prove otherwise. So we got to go out there and prove to the world that, what people saw last year, that's not us this year. And I feel like, a lot of the fans from the last game feel like, they kind of iffy. But, I mean, we just going to go out and do what we have to do, which is, execute on the field. So
this game is your opportunity to prove that, right?
I guess
Given Auburn's status, undefeated, 17-game winning streak, defending national champs, how sweet would it be to knock them off?
I feel like it'd be pretty good to win. It's always, good to win. No one wants to lose, so that's how we look at it.
You can miss Cam Newton not being out there.
Say what?
You're going to miss Cam Newton not being out there.
Yeah, I kind of am.
How do you get better at tackling if you're not, like you said, you're not really taking down any offensive players in practice other than in drills?
It's like we have tackling drills on defense. We go through our drills, and I mean, as far as me, I got to do what I have to do before practice, after practice. It's something I do on my own. Because you can never, get everything in like the time that you have. You always got to go out and do a little extra every day. And, I mean, I guess this week, I'm gonna work on my tackling a little more.
What do you do on your own to get better at that?
What would I do?
Yeah.
Tackle somebody.
Who's the lucky guy?
I don't really know yet.
Did you watch Cam yesterday?
Did I watch him?
Yeah.
No, I didn't watch him, but I heard about him. I heard he had a pretty amazing game.
As a senior with so many young players out on the field, is this the kind of game now it's time for those guys to grow up a little bit and maybe not act like freshmen? And as a senior, how do you provide leadership for those guys?
I feel like, we all know what we have to do. We all have an assignment, and, sometimes we see it as, oh, they're a younger player, so they entitled to mess up or whatever. But they are young, but at the same time they are play on this defense, and we have expectations on this defense. We want to be a great defense year in and year out. So we go out to practice and we push for that. We push in practice, and that way when you come to the game, it's easy. It should come second nature.
How do you feel like Grady and Deshaun have done so far in these first couple weeks of getting some playing?
I felt like they've done pretty good. I feel like they've been doing what's been asked of them, and you know what I'm saying, which is pretty amazing to think that they're only freshmen.
Yeah,
so I'm looking forward to see what they're gonna turn into.